Hey man, AI is coming and it's coming fast. Are you prepared or are you ready? Let's get into it.
To the CEO of Amazon, telling the company's employees that some of their jobs will be replaced by AI and that Amazon's workforce is expected to shrink in the coming years as AI's role expands. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here with the story. I don't know how good of news this is for, physical employees.
Right.
Rebecca,
I mean, good morning, Michael. Hey, guys. And this is big news, and it's unsettling news for a lot of people listening. In a message to employees, Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, writing that the tech giant will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs, and that Amazon will reduce its total corporate workforce in the next few years. Amazon is already using generative AI to do everything from improving inventory placement to forecasting demand to cutting costs and delivery times. You experience some of this as a customer, but in the future, according to Jassy, those AI agents will be teammates. The technology is now your teammate in the future.
Well, it sounds like this is a growing trend, though.
It is. And we've heard this now from Meta. We've heard it from Microsoft. Like I said, it is deeply unsettling as a human to hear it. But learning how these tools actually work and can help you in your work and life is a huge advantage right now. Google offers a free course called Google AI Essentials. You can download an app like ChatGPT, ask it questions. Once you familiarize yourself, you can even use it to manage things like your calendar and summarize long documents. And guys, this is something we're going to be talking about. Yeah. Into the future. It's important to remember here that it's not necessarily a job replacement, but it makes jobs different. Being at the higher end, doing the higher level thinking, being helpful and being human. This is key. Yeah. When you are in a job, put forth the best human aspects of yourself and be kind.
Let's get into it, man. This right here, AI finna hurt a lot of people, man. A lot of people. You know, man, we could sit here and talk about it, but it's a future threat. You talking about software engineers, lawyers. I saw one job, and we're gonna get into these videos where one job was cutting lawyers out. One other job was cutting all the customer service out, IBM, and bringing in chat boxes, you know, to help people bring this stuff down. So AI, man, it's a future threat, and it's even a future threat. Well, it ain't a future threat because most of the content creators is already using it. You know, we using NVIDIA AI, we using Gemini, we using vidIQ, we using OpenScript. You know, most of the content creators already start using. So, and I saw one content creator. I did see one content creator already doing like one that had an ape or animal talking and walking and filming selfies and stuff like that. So AI is already here, man. And AI finna start taking jobs, and it's finna get bad, man. But we got a lot of videos to go through to show y'all. One lady was saying IBM is cutting 8,000 jobs and replacing them with a chat box. But we knew that was coming when IBM came up with Watson, that their robot. Their AI robot back, about 15 years ago when I was still in corporate America. So there's a lot coming, but let's check out this new AI, Amazon AI little vehicle or whatever they got going on. It's interesting.
Amazon's Zoox is now testing in Vegas.
I actually started saying, "Hey, how's your day going?" to the driver.
We've arrived. Please watch for traffic as we leave.
I don't know if I can trust these autonomous vehicles, man. I don't know. I guess I'm old school. I want somebody there that's in control of this thing, just in case we hit brakes or accident. And I know they got the AI where they can detect, because my wife's car, somebody pulled out in front of us and it's just automatic brake automatically. And I hate that. I really hate that because it throws you off. But in this particular case, what is this thing? Just lock you in, man. You know what I mean? Shit, lock you in here and you can't get out, or take you somewhere, or somebody using this stuff. See, I'm looking at this stuff. This AI could be very, very dangerous, even though I use a lot of AI right now for content creation. in editing and all that stuff. But man, I think we relying on this stuff too much, and I really think what's coming, this thing gonna get smarter than it's already smarter than us, because people saying, hey, doctors even getting cut back. And this thing finna take off and finna cut jobs, and now it's finna be just like iRobot. Y'all remember the movie iRobot? That's what I think this is AI, future AI stuff gonna be. Let's get into another one, y'all.
I can't be the only one who sees that if we stay on this track as a country, that within the next 12 months, we're going to see the absolute decimation of the entry-level white-collar economy, right? I can't be the only one that sees that AI has already put coders, data scientists, website builders on the back burner, and we're quickly seeing a world where even things like paralegals, CNAs, administrative work, marketers that are just completely out of date now in comparison to the instantaneous 24/7 doesn't require payroll worker that is now AI. How many kids are sitting in their 3rd or 5th year of college getting their degree in their specific niche, knowing now that AI more than likely is not just going to be a competitive factor in their job market, but may outright replace them, if not already, soon. Even gig economy things like, let's talk about content creation. Do you understand how much content is going to be going out? How many creators are going to be AI backed, AI infused, AI optimized to pump out so much content at a corporate level that we're going to lose trust in new faces and new voices. You're going to see a new creator pop up and you're going to think, is this AI? Is this person real? We're going to cling to the creators we know, and the creator space, the content creator space, is going to become so much more competitive with optimal content. I watched an AI gorilla do a vlog from a forest, and it was good. And it was completely built by AI. AI podcasts, AI creators, AI content streams, AI job markets. We're going to be not just influenced, we are going to be infiltrated by AI. And within the next year, within the next 12 months, save this, rub it in my face if I'm wrong, but in the next 12 months, we are going to see the death of the entry-level white-collar economy. Anything involves a computer, anything that involves a screen, if it helps generate your revenue, you need to start looking in the eye the technology that is coming up, because it is going to alter things so dramatically, and we're not having these conversations when we already have a struggling middle class, when we already have a wage problem, when we already have a systemic issue that is rooted in a power and lust for money issue at a corporate and political level, a power and money issue that has bled into where we're at today, a space race for the best AI, and all it's going to do is displace the middle class even further from having a potential route to success by completely decimating the out-of-college entry-level position in the white-collar economy.
Now, I definitely agree with what he was saying. When it came to, it's a lot of kids right now sitting in college, thinking they're gonna have a job. You know, we've been taught you go to school, you go to high school, make good grades, and you go to college, and you go in these certain fields, and engineering and doctor and lawyer, and then you go come out in finance, and you go come out and get a job, and you work for 20, 30, 40 years, then you retire. I think those days is over. I truly think those days are over. You're finna have a lot of kids. There's already a lot of kids out here graduating from college that can't find a job in their field. Now, mind you, some of these kids have taken some bad degrees, some bad advice, and majored in, I know one person majored in like basket weaving. I'm like, what the hell you gonna do with basket weaving? You know what I mean? One person took in African-American studies, unless you're gonna be a teacher or something. African-American women studies, unless you're gonna be a history major or a history teacher or whatever, stuff like that. I think you got to go in big tech, big data. You got to go in something that, and then AI is smarter than you on that. It's like certain lawyers. I saw this law firm, and we're gonna get to this video where the law firm laid off, I think, 400 lawyers, contract lawyers, across the nation, because they're saying AI can do a better job with putting the contract together, closing all the loopholes in the contract, and do it much faster than these lawyers was doing. That's dangerous, man. That is dangerous. You imagine the accountant. AI is counting and they auditing stuff so fast where you don't need all these financial analysts no more. A lot of people is finna to lose their jobs. And like I was saying on my show last week, when desperate people gonna be desperate, and people do desperate things in desperate times, man. People finna start losing homes. People finna start losing cars. People finna can't pay credit cards because you ain't gonna have the finances, man. AI is taking over. So let's go to another one.
Hi guys, my name is Ariana the Techie. I have been in tech for 15 years since I was 15 years old, and I'm very concerned for the world when it comes down to AI, when it comes down to jobs being replaced, departments becoming completely evaporated overnight. Like, I have been close to some of the best engineers in the world. I've, built my own tech companies, raised millions of dollars, all this good stuff. And I'm in conversations with basically the founders who are building the future of the world all the time. Some of them are really good friends of mine, or maybe we meet at a conference through mutuals or investors, etc. And I don't think people realize how fast change is coming and how fast people overnight will have a struggle just finding a basic job, like a basic job. And so, my entire page is obviously dedicated to educating people about technology, what are the latest technologies, what you need to do. I go by different industries, whatever, really kind of touches my heart is what I kind of share. But I really want to encourage you, if you are someone who, you feel compelled to learn more about tech, you can feel compelled to become an entrepreneur, whatever it is, I want to say you need to do it. Now is the time. We're in the early days of AI, where this is like I would compare this maybe to like the early 90s or mid 90s of the internet, and maybe early 2000s, but I would say late 90s, which I was a kid then, but still, there is a slew of opportunity. And for those who get it, get it. For those who take advantage of this opportunity, you will make a long-lasting opportunity and investment for generations to come that will positively impact your family. And so, as I'm posting and as you all are leaving questions for me to answer, just continue to be curious, because the people who don't are the ones who are going to be losing their jobs. I'm talking about attorneys, teachers, even preachers. I'm talking about, which is very complex. I have videos on that on my YouTube channel. But real estate agents, nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Software engineers aren't safe. Designers are not safe at all. And so you just got to keep being curious. Try, test, read everything, because change is happening faster than we all think.
Exactly. It's coming, guys. I know one of my friends who is a teacher, and they're bringing in stuff this year to help the teacher along and help break down stuff from an AI standpoint. And I'm like, man, this thing is moving a lot faster. I know one guy was saying maybe 18 to 20, 24 months, and one guy was saying 20 by 2030. But I think, man, we might be looking 6 months, man. You finna hear a lot of job loss, a lot of layoffs. Right now, I think Microsoft already laid off 9,000 this year. IBM laid off 8,000. UPS cutting back majorly. A lot of companies is cutting back, man. Now they're going to bring the wealth gap. The wealth gap is already despairing. You know what I mean? This is the largest wealth gap has been in damn near 100 years. So with these job layoffs, and people ain't going to be able to afford themselves due to AI, the rich going to get richer. And the middle class is decimated. And the poor going to get poor, like I was talking to somebody earlier. And people is finna start losing their stuff, man. And people going to get upset. But what can you do, man? Because if you look at it, if you look from a business owner standpoint, if I can bring in an AI machine, which cost me about $100,000, this company right now called Artisan, it's Artisan. They got billboards in New York and LA saying, stop hiring humans, hire us, hire evil. We don't need PTO, we don't need vacation, we don't call out sick. It is an AI platform. And that one platform, the owner came out and saying, from Artisan, saying that their AI platform can do the work of 10 people much faster. So companies is talking about let's bring in this $50,000 to $100,000 AI machine. Get rid of all these salaries, and over here we ain't got to worry about nobody calling out. We ain't got to worry about PTO. We ain't got to worry about all these Mr. 19 stuff that was going on and had to pay people not be in the office. We could have this one machine doing the work of 10 people and scheduling and responding and emailing and all this and updating the websites. And so a lot of people, man, finna lose their job. So this one business owner that I was speaking with, he was saying he could bring in this machine for about $75,000. If you get two, my man said he'll give it to him for $125 or something like that. So he could bring in two machines and get ready to cut out 20 people. You imagine 20 people? That's probably, if all these 20 people making about $50,000, you bring in a machine for about $125,000, no more than $150,000. And you finna cut out probably about anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million in payroll and training and sick time and all this stuff, man. So that's why I say AI is really scary and it's coming faster than we anticipating. And you need to start honing on some skill sets that you have right now. Whatever gifts, whatever skill set you have, you need to start trying to perfect those. If it's farming, is it sewing? If it's plumbing, if it's electrician, barbering, whatever that and you probably ain't gonna barber, you're gonna have AI cutting hair in a minute, bro. I'm like, my goodness, but whatever your skill set is, you need to start homing in on it right now. Let's get into another one.
I really don't think people understand what is coming over the next 18 months, especially if you're working in corporate America. If that's you, you might want to save this video for later and please share it with a friend who's working in corporate. We are seeing what they are calling the Great Restructuring. And essentially, it is consolidation of people and humans within an organization as they blend with technology. It basically means that companies are looking to get rid of irrelevant job titles, job roles. They're looking to get rid of these massive teams that don't get anything accomplished for 3 or 4 years. I've spoken to so many people who have been laid off over the last 2 to 3 years, and I've noticed something. The bigger the company they are at, the less impact they actually have, which makes their resume really, really hard to work. I will get people who share with me projects they've worked on where they've been one of 20 people. If you're in a role like that, it's really hard to define the value that you're bringing to the company you're working at. And it also means you are primed to be consolidated. You see, companies are making decisions of how they blend humans with AI and technology. They are trying to get as much as they can done with the least amount of people possible. Microsoft just announced mass layoffs, and we are going to continue to see companies do this during the Great Restructuring. So if you're working for a big corporation, you've been warned.
Yes, and we can see that throughout this year. We can see that, man. Even, like Amazon. Amazon is my friend, man. Amazon dropping packages off at my house every day. You know what I mean? They're my buddy. But even they're having operations cut and shut down because of the automation systems that's in place. That's routing stuff much faster, much accurately. Inventory is a lot better. So, to me, from a business owner standpoint, yes, I like AI. But from a person standpoint, it finna hurt a lot of people, man. It finna put a lot of families in a bad situation. And the number one cause of divorce is finance. We can sit here and talk about it all we want, but finance is the number one reason a lot of people go their separate ways. Because finance is going to cause all kind of other problems. All kind of other problems, man. So let's get into another one.
I don't really think that people are sufficiently scared about how this AI boom is literally going to destroy the fabric of the United States as we know it. IBM laid off over 8,000 HR people and replaced them with an AI chat bot. 8,000 humans lost their job directly to AI chatbot. That's 8,000 families that no longer have food to put on the table because they no longer have jobs. That's 8,000 more people with degrees that are on the job market in an already overinflated job market. And that doesn't include all the tens of thousands of jobs that have been eliminated due to AI directly from Meta, Microsoft, and all of the other ones. So it's crazy how so many people are applauding AI, but it is the literal destruction of the American economy as we know it. They're estimating over 20% of the workforce is going to be out of a job directly due to AI. 20%. We're talking millions of Americans are going to be out of a job, essentially fighting each other for jobs. And when the job market is overinflated, that means wages go down because now people with computer science degrees are a dime a dozen now. It's not something that is elite if everybody has one. So more people should be alarmed by this.
That's a lot of people, man. 8,000. Like I was just speaking earlier, you talking about at least $10 million in revenue, $10 million in payroll. You know what I mean? And then you talking about sick time and all that vacation. So probably estimated about $20 million of their payroll. But then she was just speaking on 20%. They're estimating 20% of the workforce being laid off. When I did the statistics, it's about 300. They say 350 million people in America, and you look at about 176 million people actually in the workforce, or right at 200 million people in the workforce. If you lay out 20% of that, man, you talking about what, 40 million people? If it's 200 million, so you talking about 40 million people on top of the 150 million people already working. So now over half of the population is not even working. You talking about crime? You want to talk about some crime? Crime is going through. You might want to get proficient in some type of protection tool also, because that's a lot of people. And not only people be walking around with nothing to do, you talking about the illness and the sickness and the death, and it can be really bad. But I feel like this is all part of the plan. All part of the plan is to get you to rely on your big brother, Uncle Sam. Rely on the government, because then they can control you. You can be controlled at that point, because if you need assistance or anything, you're going to have to go through them to get it. And most people are going to bow down and take whatever you got to take to get what you got to get done. Most people will submit to provide for their family, unfortunately. You know, so, and now this right here, I'm gonna show you two more videos. One is where the warehouse automation, man, is off the chain. And then now more than that, farmers is starting to use AI to zap weeds and send out tractors and tractors self-driving themselves, and they're doing it more at picking fruit and all kind of stuff. So the workers that we lost, the illegal migrant workers that is getting kicked out of the country and deported, which, hey, it is what it is at that point. I don't go down that road because that's not my fight. But a lot of people, farmers who relied on those folk, are hurting right now. So, but we'll see how that comes. Let's get into another one.
Experts are now warning that AI automation of the workforce is happening way faster than they first expected. They said it would happen slowly, but they were wrong. Automation is not coming, it's already here, and if you think your job is safe, you might have to think again. In just 5 years, millions of jobs, both blue collar and white collar, have vanished, quietly. Let's start with Amazon. Once the biggest employer in the world, since 2021 they've laid off over 100,000 workers, replacing them with over 750,000 robots. New robotic warehouses that used to need 3,000 people now run on barely 1,000. A 60% cut in human jobs per warehouse. And if you think that's bad, it's not just Amazon. In China, one factory slashed its workforce by 90%. 90%! They went from 650 people to just 60, and the production tripled. Apple's main supplier, Foxconn, wiped out 60,000 jobs in one factory alone, replacing them with machines. And trucking is next. With over 3.6 million drivers in the US alone, this is one of the most common jobs in America and all of the Western world. But self-driving semi-trucks are so close. They're already running test routes from Texas to Arizona. And experts in the field say that 4 million driving jobs will be wiped out by 2030. And every estimate they've had is ahead of schedule. And the desk jobs and office jobs, they're definitely not safe. Law firms are already using AI to write contracts and do legal research. One firm gave 3,500 lawyers an AI tool that does junior level work instantly and without any problems. IBM froze hiring people completely and plans to replace 7,800 admin roles with AI. In healthcare, AI now scans X-rays and detects cancer faster than any doctor. A third of all radiology departments already use it, and AI doesn't call in sick. And if all that wasn't dystopian enough for you, supermarkets are building dark stores, fully automated centers where robots do all the shopping. You don't even walk inside. Save Mart, Kroger, Walmart, they're all investing in these systems right now. And in China, over 1.7 million industrial robots are already in use. This isn't science fiction, it's not 10 years away, this is now. The job market is being completely rewritten in real time. Most people won't see it coming until it's far too late. Can a robot really do your job? And what happens?
Yes, a robot can do your job, unfortunately, but to take the human aspect out of it, to take the camaraderie out of it, take the team building out of it, because they're just a robot. They programmed to do a certain specific thing. Unfortunately, like he was just saying, over in China, they cut 90% of their workforce out of one plant from 650 people to 60. You know what I mean? That was crazy, but they said the production tripled. You can't compete with a robot. We can't compete with a robot. They can work all day, all year, all their whole life. We're going to be tired. We're going to age. Our body going to slow down. I don't care how much you exercise. I don't care how much you eat, how much you eat right, and try to take care of yourself with vitamins. Your body going to slow down as you age. And so there's no way we can compete with AI or a robot. I don't care what it is. So we are getting pushed out of the job market. That's why I say we got to find that skill. We got to find that thing, that gift that you have in you in order to survive. Other than that, man, you finna crash and burn, because you can clearly see where these big corporations coming. It's about profit for the shareholders, and if I could pay 2 or 3 robots, if I could spend $1 million on a team of robots, and I could just need 1 or 2 engineers to oversee there and give them updates and all this stuff, and these team of robots can get rid of 20 or 30% of my workforce. More likely, most corporations is going in that route, and that's what's gonna hurt a lot of people, man. Hurt a lot of people. And desperate people do desperate things. Let's get into the last one. This last video is about the farm and how farmers is big farmers, because the average, I know some small farmers, they don't have this type of equipment, but these big farmers is using AI to manage their crops and manage the fertilizer and manage the weeds and all that stuff. So this is finna put a lot more people out of work. Even farming ain't safe right now. Let's go.
Farms are currently getting overhauled with AI machines, and the benefits are actually pretty impressive. They've even got AI machines that are zapping weeds with lasers, blasts weeds in the field like it's playing Space Invaders. The goal is no chemicals, no herbicides, just high-tech weed control that leaves crops untouched. And some of these are even solar powered, so the sun helps grow the crops and powers the machines that harvest them. That's some full circle wizardry right there. Across the world, farms are trading in human hands for robotic arms. There's machines that now pick strawberries, sort apples, and harvest lettuce with more precision and speed than any tired human could manage. Companies like Agrobot, FF Robotics, and FarmWise are developing machines that literally see the fruit, identify its ripeness using AI, and then pluck it perfectly. No squished peaches, no bruised berries. And if you thought that was crazy, drones are now planting the seeds, monitoring crop health, and even spraying fertilizer. With multi-spectral cameras and AI mapping, a drone can scan a massive field and tell a farmer exactly where the crops are stressed before a human could even notice. And this isn't just convenience, it's necessity. Labour shortages are crushing farms at the moment. People don't want to work 12-hour shifts in the heat for minimum wage. No.
All right, let's get into it. Now, close this thing out right here. AI is dangerous. I saw one lady that I didn't get a chance to upload her video, so I'll probably be doing a part 2 to this, either late tonight, around 9:30, 10 o'clock, AI part 2, where this one lady said that she was anemic, and so she uploaded all her files into ChatGPT. And ChatGPT diagnosed her with being anemic more faster than her doctor did. And she took what ChatGPT said and took to her doctor, and then that's when her doctor prescribed her something for being anemic. And then the medicine that the doctor gave her, she said she uploaded to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, you need to tell your doctor lower your dosage to this medicine because it's gonna cause this. And once again, she said ChatGPT was right because the medicine gave her fatigue and stomach problems until the doctor lowered her dosage. So this stuff is dangerous. And not only that, one person said, wait till they start having AI preachers. That would be scary, because your preacher should have the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, with them. And I can't see AI having the Ruach or the Holy Spirit. AI probably can teach what the Bible said, you know what I mean, because it's artificial intelligence, but you ain't gonna be able to bring that word of the Most High. So with that said, people, man, we're gonna do a part 2 to this because I still got several videos that I'm gonna upload, but AI is dangerous, it's coming fast. And with that said, maybe Yasharel. Until next time, shalom.